Right, we're back with another round table. Very excited today. Probably the best round table that we've done, I think.
I would say it's
ever in terms of the progress of the business as a group, from Alpha Cap, from Alpha Futures, and now onto the one that we've all been waiting for, which is Alpha Prime, which is very exciting, hasn't it? After 4 years of running.
Yeah, I'd say it's one of the. I mean, Alpha Cap was, it was the baby. It's what started everything, and everything's blossomed from that. But I think this is one of the most exciting projects that we've been working on. It's been a while in making, and even when we launched Alpha Cap, the idea was to get to this point.
It was always the plan, wasn't it?
How we get there and finding the right people, which you can see James here, which, this is to introduce James, talk about Alpha Prime, the progression of Alpha Cap, Alpha Futures, while we've brought Prime as an addition to the group. But yes, it's an exciting project.
Yeah, absolutely. It gives us an opportunity just to explain the structure of Prime, how it's actually going to look as well. I know we've laid a few teasers out there, but this is a good opportunity to actually try and sort of paint a picture of how Prime will look and how it'll operate.
There's always been, since the start, when we launched this business, you see it everywhere, is do you trade with live funds? Yes. That's always been the big question and the big question. A lot of prop firms.
I think 4 years ago, though, there was more firms in the market was quite ambiguous about if it wasn't.
Well, a lot of them just lied.
A lot of them lied as well.
And they got found out.
Led you to believe it.
And it was only, everyone, there's disclaimers all over the site, so everyone knows it is assessment based, but this Alpha Prime, in my eyes and our eyes, it is the most logical next step to complete the group. It's, the holy trinity of assessment companies to then a live traditional prop fund, which James bringing you in to head it up, to lead it.
Where my background was, leading through growing live trading, fully funded. That's what my background's been in. So now it seems like the perfect fit to finish all the businesses off,
100%.
To move everyone across that's fitting the right mark, they're hitting the right levels of trading, and to grow and make success. Just grow up as traders.
It's interesting because I think a lot of the younger generation, they understand this prop model that has been around. Well, this is still quite new, this industry, maybe
5 years, really.
5 or 6 years. But I think what people don't really understand, JJ, is traditional prop trading businesses have been running for the best part of 30 years, maybe even more.
Yeah,
I think
I first started my first business in 2006 and started with 4 traders and slowly grew them organically one by one and helped to develop and educate. Learning fundamental. Markets were different. The fundamental structure was different then. Different rate paths, completely different environments.
But what was the actual business plan back in 2006? So when you decided, look, I'm going to set up my own prop business here, was that all of your own capital that you had to plow into that? So the live trading funds were funds that you'd built up from previous employment.
Yeah, so I've been in the futures markets for forever. 30 years. 30 years. As soon as I was 18, I was old enough to trade, so I took my trading exams and as soon as I was comfortable enough, I went self-employed and traded for myself. And
where did your career first start then?
On the live floor.
Yeah,
London International Financial Futures Exchange. Started down there. I was one of the youngest ever people to start there.
What were you in age?
16.
Wow.
Yeah.
You started as a runner, running about.
Started as a runner.
I bet you got kicked about a bit back then, didn't you?
There are stories that are not allowed to be told. But salary was minute, and go through 6 months worth of probation to see if you can really cut it, and but it was the making of me. It was a personality based thing. There was no nepotism. No one got me the job. There was no emails. I had to write letters.
But I'm assuming that when you first step onto life as a kid of that age, you are working for somebody else. Maybe a bank.
I was working for a small bank called Rudolph Wolf.
Right.
They don't exist anymore. They were on the metals exchange, and they wanted to move from metals to financial futures, and so they set up a site on the live floor where they started trading.
And then when you trade on behalf of that bank, as an example, are you speculating or are you just executing orders from clients?
So they had clients that would, tell you what to do. So you'd go and trade certain products, whether it's FTSE, UK gilts, short sterling.
But you're given an order to fill, you go fill it, basically.
You don't do it. You're using hand. I mean, it was hand signals, funny colour jackets, and
Can we bring that back into the office?
That'd be good. Funny colour jackets.
No, I mean, it was an amazing industry, an amazing era. I dream every night of it coming back. It was fabulous.
I can imagine.
It was really fabulous. And it was a locker room mentality. But when it got busy, that was it. It was everyone was full on, and that's what I've always based my businesses on. That's taught me that you can sit back, chill out, relax, mess around, have bets and dares and things like that. But when it gets busy, that's it, fully focused and we're ready to go. And there's a lot of downtime during the day, a lot of downtime.
Yeah, I think that's a good segue into the difference between traditional prop firms, as you've been at for the past 30 years, and the retail Alpha Cap, Alpha Futures of the world. Because as you explained there, you go through a 6-month probation, you're in a floor, there's teams around you, it's very collaborative, and there's a lot of training, education, progression. Whereas on Alpha Cap and Alpha Futures, you come in, you take an assessment, and it's you, yourself, and I.
But you're also on your own. You're at home, trading on your own.
Exactly.
I don't want to belittle anyone, but they could just be sitting in their
a lot of them will have
university
as well,
bedroom and just trading as a bit of a pastime. They might be onto something. There's highly skilled. There's very, very educated people that are good at what they do. Everyone's got what they're good at. And the plan or the dream, the vision is to create a trading floor. And we're going to grow and push as big and as fast as possible.
And just on that note, something that you're probably looking forward to, and you'll know this as well as I know this, because obviously we've both done a fair few years in the city, that if you're a trader in the city, you will either were South London or Essex, right? Yeah. Generally, that's what it was made up of over the last decade. But I think what you're alluding to there is there's a lot of people all over the world from different walks of life that have got skills trading, right? And now this gives them the opportunity. I think, Al, you could probably touch upon it a bit more, but relocation opportunities and things like that we're going to involve with Prime. But I think that's what JJ means. There's other people that have got great skills that can deliver and be an asset.
It's changed a lot, right? So your generation and probably the
that's fair enough. I'll take it. Don't worry. I think just a little bit less of a kind.
End of your generation, I know a lot of people that work for a lot of interdealer banks, all that kind of stuff. They did come from Essex, South London. You could have got on a trading floor if you knew a friend and family. 16, 18, up in the city. Didn't really have to have a great education, as long as you're smart, switched on.
Hard enough.
You could do well. But when I started coming into the city, you could see very, very differently that actually, if you want to go and work for a big interdealer, if you want to go and work for an investment bank to be a trader, you need to be Red Brick University. You can come from that, or daddy needs to work there, or daddy needs to have work there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or you're not getting in. Even if you're a friend of a friend, you're not getting in. Where now, with what our prop model does, it doesn't matter where you are in the world, what your background is, skills pay the bills. If you've got the skills, you can do it.
And when we was first, talking about Alpha Prime, like one of the things that you said straight away, which we'd all, this is why we wanted to do this, is traditional prop firms, where do you find your traders? You have to put out an advert, you have to interview grads or go to the Red Brick unis, and you've got, let's
it's not the whole real experience.
100 people or something.
Right. It's skills-based as well. You've got to have the personality.
Yeah.
You could have the greatest CV in the world.
Yeah.
An amazing education and a great
stats.
Yeah. And if you can't trade, I've had traders in the past that they physically couldn't push the button. They couldn't take the risk.
Yeah.
And you're like, but you've set out this amazing plan. You've got this perfect trading gold, and it's all there for you.
Run with it.
Buy it. And they're like, just wait another few hours.
But
the moment's gone. It's this personality, there's education, there's...
But in order to bring out that personality, you need physical contact. You need to be around, right? You need to be able to be around people.
And you get inspired by other people. He's doing really, really well. Okay. Going back to that locker room mentality, you want people to be working together. Sitting on your own, during lockdown, sitting on my own at home trading is soulless. It's horrific. There's no one to put their come on, tomorrow's another day. You do have losing days. It's one of the only industries in the world you go to work and you can lose money. And that's not what we want.
And that's the true beauty of what we're going to do here. So Alpha Prime is going to start in London.
Yeah.
The plan is, I'm hoping, is either New York or Miami next.
Yep.
We're having to play around with that, see what's best suited. Maybe you can drop a comment and see if New York or Miami is going to be better for the next trading floor. Numbers, I'm getting good at this.
Europe.
We need something in Europe, maybe Germany. I like that place. And then Dubai, we're open. So in terms of where we are there, what James was saying about obviously not working on your own, it's a lot of you out there that are trading with us that are exceptionally good from all walks of life, from all backgrounds. It is a bit lonely out there. I speak to a lot of people in the Discord and they get that with what Prime's going to offer. If you didn't want to relocate, you didn't want to come to London, you didn't want to sit on the trading floor, which a lot of people will not want to do because they've got responsibilities. They've got children, they've got this, they've got that, they're at university still, so on and so forth. It's going to give them an opportunity. And what we're looking to build is to build a real interactive hub where, Jimmy, you can talk and the other analysts that we bring in, we're looking for quant analysts and stuff like that at the moment, I believe.
Yeah.
Bring in, you can get a real sense of community, professional community.
Absolutely.
Like what it would be like on a real
to enhance profitability.
Yeah.
Look, great trading idea, but you haven't back tested it or you haven't had a quant look at it.
No.
So, whatever you bring to the table, there'll be NDAs and, we're not going to steal anyone's idea. It's just to enhance yours to help you earn more money.
And what are we looking for? What are we looking to add to Alpha Prime? So we've got James is going to be heading it up. What we're looking for quants.
I'm looking for to start off with at least 2 quants that will be sat in the office with us in London that you can literally turn your chair around and say, look, I love this idea, but I've been losing money last couple of trades. So, let's have a look back. We're going to be purchasing as much data as possible so that we can backtest for a number of years. You can't just look back for the last 2 years and say, well, look, it worked.
But we can do that for our remote trainers as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're going to have
a guy from Alpha Futures or Alpha Cap. That'd be the first point of call. They'll sit down with yourself and then they'll sit down with a quant and we'll back test their strategy as far as we can.
That's not as a test for them. This is just say, it's up to them. If they want it, bring it to the table and we'll blow it up. We'll enhance it.
But you will find guys that are making money and they've found a strategy, they found something that works for them, and they're just, very rules-based approach. They know when to buy, when to exit, but they maybe the majority of them probably don't know exactly why they're winning so much or why they're losing on the days that they lose. Whereas when they sit down with a quant and they back test for 5 to 7 years and you find out, the peaks and the troughs, and when X is happening in the market, this is when your strategy starts to lose its edge. That's what the quants will be able to identify.
There's so many different variables, though. Yeah. You feel your rate hike cycle, rate cutting cycle, data dependent. You think you're making money, and then US CPI pops up and blows you out of the water. And there's so much content on social media of people trading ICT and impulse zones, and you think you're a great trader and you're copying that, but sooner or later the market evolves and it's going to catch you out. So now you've got to find a new structure that everyone's talking about on social media.
On your own personal trading, is there any particular asset class that you focus on, or could you trade anything?
You have some fun.
You could be jack of all, master of none. I love charts. Charts make up I've got various different strategies. I'm still in the process of backtesting different ideas. I'm a big advocate for market profile. A huge amount of people that I've come across have never even heard of it.
Mm-hmm. And it's Jerry loves that, doesn't he? Market profile.
Technical analysis is just an art form. It's just the way that you look at it. So, you could look at a Picasso and go, oh, that's amazing, it's fabulous. And I look at it and say, well, no, a 2-year-old could do that. It's what you interpret as being. So then once you factor in your rules-based strategies, and then it comes alive, it pops out in the chart for you.
Yeah.
But fundamentals are at the forefront of all trading. So,
And I think that's
what just going back to my question, if that all stacks up and you like the look of market profile, whatever you're looking at the time, it doesn't matter what it is that you're looking at. It could be gold, could be, I don't know, it could be, I think Lean Hogs you were telling me about once, right?
I'll trade some very funky products. I like trading cotton's amazing for me. Corn, I trade a lot of interest rate products, government bonds, stocks. I mean,
if it's got a chart,
if it moves and it charts and it gives me a reason, I'm rules-based. As long as you're rules-based, you can't be emotionally involved and stuff. So, it's really cheap down here. So many people it's getting cheap down here. I'm going to start buying it. And think, good luck, because you don't know where you're getting it.
Yeah. What's cheap?
Yeah.
What do you mean by cheap?
You know, it's a herd-based move in the market, and you're going to try and go against it. It's just not going to work. And sooner or later, the market will take your money. So your career's going to be short-lived.
And do you day trade, or will you take a position and can that fluctuate as well?
Best trading is to get a structure in the morning, develops nicely over the course of the day, and you're paid out by the afternoon, and it's fabulous, great feeling. Yep, that worked. I predicted that, and it went to that. I also take long-term views, and I could have a position for 2 or 3 weeks.
Right.
But as that market is trending higher, you're reducing your stop. You're then, worst case scenario, you're going to be stopped out, still on side. Protecting your downside all the time. But that's what I want to be able to put out to these traders that are then going to come across to say, look, you've got a great idea, but let's enhance it and let's develop it.
Let's imagine as well for the people watching that are trading with Alpha Cap and Alpha Futures, hoping to be either there'll be a clear path to Alpha Prime, but also discretionary. So it won't just be you've made X amount and you get moved over. It's also the people that are maybe making smaller payouts, but a singular account, but holding it for months, and they're consistent on that account. We'll still look at those people.
Absolutely.
That's what I love about it, because we've been going back and forth recently. We've been looking, haven't we, at different traders. There's one guy at the moment, Drew, you might not know this, but he's had a 10K account. I think he's had it for about 8 months. He's had 2 of them.
Yeah.
And he doesn't make a lot of money, but he's very consistent. And I think if we decide to go with him, which I think we will, you get a shock that you'd be called up.
Yeah, it's
he's in a country and it's quite far away.
It's going to be
it's not just going to be
the biggest accounts making the biggest. Obviously, they'll be looked at, but it is just the consistent traders.
So it doesn't matter who you are.
So
you could be called
any
up.
account size, as long as you focus on consistency and your risk management, and you hold an account for a period of time, we'll be looking at you. We'll be looking at the account. James will be. But I think that's then a good segue into let's call him John. We call upon John. John comes over. He speaks to yourself, we onboard him to Prime, he sits down with the quant. What does that then look like for them moving off of Alpha Cap and Alpha Futures? They're now under your wing on Alpha Prime. Day one, they're trading away. These guys trading with Alpha Cap and Alpha Futures, as we said, there's not that, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of traders. So it's not one-to-one. So it might be good for you to explain what that might look like on a day-to-day basis.
So
the support network.
There's very, very little limit on what they can trade and when they can trade. I understand at the moment there's, you don't want to be having positions over news releases and data and things like that. You can trade the news if you're a fundamental trader and that's what you want to do. If you're trading volatility after a non-farm payrolls comes out and you've got this idea or strategy that captures that volatility and you can make money out of that, that's what we're going to enhance. That's what we're going to do. We're going to be very hands-on to help and develop, whether it be that you're in a bit of a drawdown period and your system isn't working because of X, and try to figure out why. This is to enable people to make as much money as possible. The idea of sitting down with a quant, that's a lot of prop firms are just still, you're just sat at your desk and it's yours. This is my idea. I'm not sharing. And I, he's really, really busy and he's really, really quiet. There's where we want to try to create an environment where if you are in the office together or even online, even if you are online, but you can say, well, look, Jules having a tough time. Get your ideas, get collaborative thinking. I can't stop you from making money. I can't take your money.
No,
it's the market. The market's a big beast, but I can put a seed of doubt to make you calm down, or put a rocket up it and say, wow, that's amazing. I like that. I'm going to apply it to my strategy. And it's just to grow a big, big community of successful people. But you touched on trader John, who is little and often. Consistency is key as well, you know? So there's nothing wrong with that consistency. If someone's consistently making a small amount of money, well, then let's work together so that we can help them grow. And that small amount of money can organically grow.
Bigger.
Absolutely.
Bigger. And you'll be making more money.
I think that's the mindset thing as well, because we're not just going to focus on the quant side of things, but we're in the market at the moment. We've got a couple of interviews next week for some top psychology coaches.
And
there's going to be performance coaches, but high level, not some of the stuff you see online where some firms say, I've got a psychology coach for you. No, this will be a person that has got, like Jimmy,
experience
he's got the experience, he's got the stars and stripes.
Got the stars.
Got the stars, So they'll be really experienced.
Full package.
Full package.
Yeah.
Full package that you'd expect to see on a city-based proprietary trading floor or fund with real high-level professionals.
Well, I'd say the only difference with what we're doing with Alpha Prime, so the only difference I'd say what we're doing with Alpha Prime compared to a traditional prop firm where you've been the past, 20, 30 years, is that we're tapping into a network of over 500,000 traders around the world trading on assessments. We've got their trading data, their track records. We're building up and verifying ourselves. And then we're going, James, here you go. Here's 500,000 traders. Pick the best ones.
Knowledge is key. You can see everyone's trades. You can see what everyone's doing. You can see if some people are just getting it lucky as well.
He's punting.
Just punting.
Yeah. Exactly. Assessment, getting a new one.
Look, gold's off 4% today. I'm thinking of buying.
That's what I said to Drew yesterday. I'm like, what was he saying? Understand you buy Tesla. I said, why? So it's down 30%.
Why not? It can go to another.
I highly encourage it as well.
You did highly encourage it,
it's just building a successful model for us as a company to then facilitate successful traders that are going to set the world right.
You know, when you said back in 2006, you started the firm up, you had a couple of, what should we call them, juniors maybe at the time.
Grads, fresh out of uni.
Have you seen over the years, like, have you got success stories where you've seen grads that have come on, learned to trade and maybe gone off away from you, clipped their wings?
I still speak to a number of my first employees that are very successful individuals, still trading, still love the game. They've grown up, they've had children, they're remarkable people to be in the game that long as well.
And does that make you smile? Do you get a sense of pride when you see that?
It's not what I'm doing.
No, I know that.
But skills. We just created a nice environment, and that's what it's all about. A lot of people, it's all about the money, and you could go and get a 50-seater office, a 100-seater office, stick 100 traders in there. It doesn't mean to say it's going to be a successful floor. You need that community. You need that together.
Same with building a business, though. In any walk, if you don't have a good environment for the people there, you're not going to keep the good ones.
Well, you just got to take your steps and build your foundations. Like we've learned with Alpha Cap and then Alpha Futures, same with Alpha Prime. If you run before you can walk, you'll trip. And I think it'd be the same approach. As soon as we're ready to, really accelerate how many traders we bring over to Prime, we of course will. But slow and steady approach. We'll start with 10, 15, 20 traders. Focus on James building the foundations, the support network.
And I'm looking forward to sharing their stories with the rest of the community.
Yeah.
A couple of people, because, it's all on us doing this, but I'm sure there'll be a lot of people watching today thinking, oh, well, that's never going to be me. Or are they just talking about it? You will see stories of actual people that this Alpha Prime will, I'm sure Alpha Cap and the prop market does change a lot of people's lives because it's a great opportunity. Yeah, but this will change certain people's lives completely. Relocation, salary, Well,
the reason as well for the addition of the salaries is that when you trade Alpha Cap, Alpha Futures, you're in assessments and then you get the qualified analyst accounts. If you lose the account, you go straight back to the assessments. There's no assurity or level of comfort of income on a monthly basis. So you have to keep your day job. You have to keep the other 9 to 5. Once we identify a trader that's good enough we want to bring over to Prime and invest in further, the salaries are there so that they can leave their 9 to 5.
Try and give an example of that in monetary terms, in simple, basic monetary terms, how that would work and how that would look. It's probably a good opportunity to do that.
I think James probably you can start off on how
it's going to be it's going to be tailored to a lot of different individuals. I don't want to give away too much because then someone's going to be looking for that promise and that height.
There's a range of salaries.
I've just made £100,000 in my account. Okay,
if you're on Alpha,
what happens to me now?
So there's a few ways in which someone can join Alpha Prime. You're on Alpha Cap, Alpha Futures. There'll be in the website. There'll be kind of once you reach X level in your account, you kind of call upon. You've reached the maximum profitability in the account. At that point, awesome, well done. We'll move you over to Prime. The second version is you're a consistent trader. Maybe you've not made 50, 60, 70 grand, but you're consistent. Excellent, well done. We'll call you up to Alpha Prime if we think that your track record and your consistency in risk management is good enough. And then the third one is the traditional from unis. You can put an application in. You can, if you've got a track record at another prop or another, live futures broker that you've been trading with for years, you can apply direct. The packages that you then get on Prime are tailored per individual.
Okay.
So could be 12 grand a year, 24 grand a year, 50,000, 100,000 a year. Salaries on a work through basis. So they've got a guaranteed draw every single month into their pocket. So they don't need to worry about their 9 to 5s.
They don't need to worry about paying their bills.
They can go all in
their career.
Starting a career.
It's starting out, and we then scale up from there. So, and that will be based, and we was discussing how, the scaling program and how we would do it. And it's hard to put in on the site, right, you hit this level, we'll scale you up. You hit this level, we'll scale you up, because you might not be ready to scale up at that point. And it might just be putting fuel on a fire that's not ready.
But that's that one-to-one approach, whereby it's not just written rules, it's per individual. So James have the calls every
You're only little and often, and that's what I've had traders which are good traders that earn little and often, and the minute you give them bigger limits, the minute they step up, they go to pieces. And there are other traders that give me more. I want to, I'm gonna. It's a busy week, and sometimes I need holding back, and that's the beauty of being.
But it's an open ground as well. They can have conversations. Look, I need this to make sure in my life I can live my life. This is what I'm used to, and we will be selective, and we will have them conversations internally, saying, "We found this guy. This is his background. This is his life." We actually get to know.
We're already having those conversations.
Exactly. They become essentially an employee of the firm, which they're going to be supported, backed, trained, and grown into being potential. They might decide in 2 or 3 years' time, listen, I'm going to go and work for an investment bank now because I've got all this stuff and I've been offered a job. Great, congratulations.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? That's what we want.
There's no limit of what the potential you can earn. I've worked with people that have earned hundreds of thousands in a day. There's no limit. And that's where, if that's where you want your career to head, this is no limit. There is no, okay, you've earned X a day, let's call it a day, off you go. No, let's protect it, let's build on it. Then the next day, you've hit X yesterday, let's try and make the next level. And that's everyone is individual. Everyone's tailored to their own structure. They're all wired. Everyone's wired differently.
And we know that, especially on this table.
All 4 of us are wired quite different.
That's what I mean. I'm just the opposite. Sensible.
But I think to your point as well, it is that we are, Alpha Prime is the foundation, the infrastructure to then help them make the most they can possibly make without blowing themselves up, with still being consistent, with still being able to manage their risks, then having that mentor performance related coaching aside to help them grow and scale. And I think that's the main difference.
They're going to find us as well, George. They're going to come finding us.
And why wouldn't you want to find us?
Exactly.
Because who else are you going to go do? Put your CV into, GP Morgan's HR department. They're not even look at it.
Whereas we regular meetings with each individual trader or as a group collectively, why isn't it working? Why is it working?
And you speak 12 languages as well. That's in his job. I brought you 7 books: Italian, Spanish, French.
You got the wrong CV. But also the week ahead, the fundamentals that are the facts. Don't get too big of a position on Wednesday because you've got
another good
Bank of England coming up the next day.
Good thing to maybe explain here on Alpha Prime is the in-house analysts / analysis that we'll share with the traders. Again, it's different on Alpha Cap, Alpha Futures, but for the guys on Alpha Prime, I say there's 50 traders there. What will that look like in terms of resources that they'll receive on a daily basis, information that they'll look to receive on a daily basis?
So we have already been discussing, you want to grow an in-house analyst desk.
Yeah.
That's not giving advice. It's just telling you what's up and coming, what happened. You know, if you're going to look back, if you're looking at data and you've got US CPI, I keep picking on that, but if you look over the last 20 CPIs, you can see what the market reaction was, how far the T-note travelled, and what happened in the aftermath after that. But we want to be able to build a database that's going to look back further than that. So you can physically see, okay, last time we were in a cutting cycle, which we are slightly pausing, but when CPI was missing to the downside, what the market reaction was. Did it overreact?
Has those analyst desks always featured in your previous places that you've worked?
So the collaborative feel of my offices that I've always been in, we all look after ourselves. We're all building up our own database.
Yeah.
But there's sharing, you know, don't forget last time this went off the page. This was massive. But we want to build that as a company. It's yours to tap in, whether it's an internal like an intranet that you can click in and say, okay, well, there's not much data this week. I really want to push my systematic trading strategies. I really want to go for it. Or there's a lot of data. Okay, I'm going to wait to see and maybe trade after 3 p.m. because that's, you know, markets are calm. They've digested all the information and go from there.
And then we will build a very, you know, like you say, we're going to have selected people on the trading floor that want to be first UK, Europe, America, Dubai, but we will have a real interactive, and that's what we need to build with our tech team as well, which we're in the process of doing, an interactive hub, not just for the live calls, which each trader will get individually developed. Each trader will have their own plan, their own structure, their own training plan to get them through, and everyone will be tailored differently.
Yeah.
There will be an interactive community, not just anyone can access.
No, it
It's a
was
specific
about this
community.
yesterday, wasn't it? It's like an internal chat system,
Just
so like
system.
a Teams where you can all chat amongst each other. You can all hop on Teams calls.
Yeah.
If we do a group call, you know, US market open, hop on, quick 20 minutes. Look out for this, look out for that. You know, close off, everyone goes. There's a chat, but it's like you said though, it's private. It will be just
And remember,
private.
very cliche.
Right.
Your network is your net worth, right? That's what they say. And this is going to be an
I've
opportunity.
actually never heard that one before, to be honest. No, I'll use it though.
I'll take it March 20th.
I'll take that away.
That communication is going to be more important for Trader X has made 10 grand this morning, doing really, really well. You don't want them to give that back. You know, you want to be able to just give them a little call and say, look, that's fabulous trading.
Step away.
You know,
Take
take a walk, reset, go again, but protect what's yours.
Cool.
How many times have you had a trader say, "Oh, I'm invincible. This is easy,"
Yeah, they just keep going
and then boom, it's gone again.
Well, I think we've all
And
been
then they
there.
go, "Why didn't you stop me?"
Yeah.
It's like, well,
We've all been there.
you know, we have all been there, and the biggest lessons you can learn are from your mistakes.
Yeah, of course.
And I've certainly made a lot of mistakes. We all have.
Yeah, we have.
When it comes easy and success, you're not really learning anything.
Absolutely.
You just think, well, I could do this. This is easy.
Yeah,
And you
absolutely.
can't. So
Yeah.
try and stop you from making mistakes. Doesn't mean that we're the masters here, but we've made enough mistakes to
very true.
to say I've done that before. Go easy. And on the flip side, you've had a bad morning. Don't worry. You're not done. It's let's chip away and reset.
Like I said at the start, this is like it's now the final piece to the puzzle.
Yeah.
Alpha Cap for FX assessments, Alpha Futures for futures assessments. We're assessing hundreds of thousands of traders across the world in 100 plus countries in FX, futures, fixed income, derivatives, to then find the best traders around them, stick them on Alpha Prime, back them live, and the support network run by James.
Do you know what? It'd be good to get a stock eventually as well.
Look,
It'd be good.
on the
it all sounds good. So
Individual stocks.
Yeah.
let's get off the ground first, I would say. But look, it all sounds good, but is it not worth mentioning the target start date to all of this?
very, very soon.
20.
Well, by
So
the
what
time
happens
they
then? So
see,
2030.
ASAP.
by the time they see this video, it will be live. So April 1st. Although I have said, we'll launch it April 1st. That's April Fool's Day, so maybe not.
Yeah,
Maybe on the 2nd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Just at the end of this, go April Fool.
yeah, this was all a joke.
A joke.
A good one. But yeah, very, very soon. And I'm excited. I'm very excited. I know we all are very excited to do it. James, I know you're itching to get cracking and
Get it up
start
and
into
running.
the traders that we've got.
Visions in the floor. I mean, I'm just thinking of while we're sitting here, to have social media running in the office as well, busy times, to see that collaborative.
Yeah, we'll do that.
You know, gathered around one desk, big sets, charts, and, you know, just to show
bring it alive.
How real
the realness of the whole thing.
Raw
Yeah, absolutely.
But it also gives the traders that trade at Alpha Cap and Alpha Futures, there's an end goal. You know, it's not get your qualified account, try and make something out of it, and then, you know, blow it or try and keep it. There's now that extra step where you can become a professional career trader, and that's what we're here for. And that's what, when you come to us, that's what you should strive to do. That's what you should aim for. And if you do that, we'll look after you and go on check as well.
And with that will bring us to the end of this round table. So keep an eye out for the next step in the process for the launch date, which you'll be seeing all over social media and the Discord soon. And yeah, listen, work hard, keep doing what you're doing, and this potentially could become a reality for you.